So welcome to part 2 of how to set up a project using AntPile. And let's jump right in. So in a regular build file, you usually have a list of properties. Properties represent variables that the build uses. In our main build file, you see that we reference here a build.properties file, but you'll notice that there is no build.properties file located in the project. Instead, we have a template properties file. And this is to keep developers from committing property files with their own local paths. So the idea is that you don't ever check in your build.properties file, you instead modify a copy of the build.template properties. And to show you how that works, I'm going to copy it here and paste it back into our project and just remove the word template. So now we have a properties file. Whenever you open up a build.properties file, Eclipse is going to automatically open it in its own property editor, but this really isn't going to be very helpful for us. So let's jump over to the actual values themselves by selecting this tab here. And here you'll see all the properties that represent the build automation. This tells you if you want to run test, if you want to do AS docs, down the line. So the first thing that we need to modify is our flex path. So here you'll see in terminal I have open a path to where I keep a modified version of the Flex SDK with the Air for Android overlaid on top of it. So I'm going to copy this out and paste this into our file. As you can see, all you have to do is remove the escaped spaces. Ant will automatically take care of that depending on the OS. And of course, if you're on a PC, your path is going to be a little bit different. Once we have this set up, we can actually go in and do run a build. So here you'll see that it's setting up a test project build. It's using the name of our project and it's appending build.xml to it. And this is a list of all of the targets you can run inside of Ant. By default, the full build is selected, and this is what we're just going to run here. So let's click run, and it's going to go through, and first it's going to do unit testing. So if our unit test fails, which it will automatically, it's going to open up a report showing us where the unit test failed. So the first time you run this, it takes a little time for the compiler to get warmed up, but as you see, it just said that a tests are completed and there's a fail, and here you're presented with a HTML site that represents all of the unit tests and where they failed. So if we take a look at our test folder, you'll understand a little better because the first test that comes out of AntPile is always a fail. This allows you to go in and start adding in your own test if you want to do test-driven development. Since this is a really simple project, we're just going to turn this to false. And you'll also see that the next step is that it would actually run AS docs for you. We're going to turn this to false too. And now if we run this, it will jump right into compiling a Swift and automatically loading it for us. And here you go. Now you're presented with a hello world, meaning that everything has worked. If you want to do further customization, let's say you're on a PC, if you come down here, inside of the build properties, you'll see browser, and you can change the path of the browser. On the Mac, you can just use the name of it. Also, a neat trick is that if you wanted to use Chrome on the Mac, it is Google Chrome, and you have to put it in quotes like this. And if we run this again, you'll see that this will be launched now in Google Chrome. And here we go. This is Google Chrome, and this was it being launched in Safari. So now you have a quick overview of how to get a project up and running very quickly using AntPile.